Hey, friend. Um, I'm back. So, first, I've got a lot to say here. I apologize if it's a little jumbled. I am not used to doing things like this. Obviously, you're used to seeing my face live if you are a bass bandit, but this is not that. So, if you are here for BBS, make sure I'm on high. Okay. If you're here for BBS, this is not a BBS update. This is a little bit more personal. I think it was like a month ago, I went live and I talked about accountability and respect, I guess would be two great topics to say. And I was terrified. I'm terrified right now. This shit makes me nervous, but I am here. I am doing it. The encouragement from last time was more than enough to get me to do it again this time. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being here in any capacity that you are. From the haters who bump my posts to the people that support me and that are here for my journey. I am here with you for yours as well, and I appreciate you being here. So, I'm just going to talk a little bit about addiction today. Um, I want to start by saying that I am by no means certified. I am not a professional. This is not doctor's advice. So don't try to sue me. I'm just going to be vulnerable and be honest and be real with you guys as much as I can be so that people can relate. Because it's important. And I know it's working because people have been telling me it's working. So if you're one of those people who decides that they want to talk shit about me, that's cool. I really don't give a fuck. I just, I'm just gonna keep doing me. And for the people that appreciate it, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me the confidence. So I am a huge fucking addict. I have been an addict since I took my first sip. I struggled hard, and a lot of the people here that are here for my journey now and that are watch these videos, I think a lot of you have only seen me come out the other side. But it was a fucking rough 20 years to get here. I started using when I was 14. I think most of us do in high school. We think it's cool, we think it won't harm us, it's not that big of a deal. Then I stopped coping with my feelings, and I stopped learning how to properly address issues. My maturity stunted, and I was a shitty fucking human. I mean, just to put it blunt, I sucked. To the people that I hurt in high school, I am sorry. I don't know what else to say except for that I'm trying now and I'm doing a better job. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, and I think we harbor a lot of resentment towards ourselves, and we beat ourselves up for the person that we were, and we don't allow ourselves to address the fact that that's who we were, and maybe we want to make a change for ourselves and then do better. You can't beat yourself up forever for something that you did 20 years ago. Um, and with that being said, obviously there are instances where that's not the case. If you're a pedo or if you're a murderer, then like, yeah, you got to deal with that shit. But like, if you were just a bad boyfriend in high school or a shitty friend or addiction got the best of you, like, stop beating yourself up for it. Let that shit go. Allow yourself to heal. Allow yourself to love yourself. That is one of the biggest things that I had to learn was loving myself again. I didn't even realize that I started hating myself. It just happened. I think that the lack of accountability for my own thoughts was one of the first starts. I let my brain go crazy, and when I was drunk, I had no control over the shit that I was talking to myself and the negative things that I was saying and the negative thoughts and beliefs that I had about myself. None of that shit was true. It was only true because I lived it, because it's what I thought and I allowed it to be true. But that wasn't the real me. And that's a part of why I was so miserable, is because I wasn't living the life that I wanted to live for myself. And I'm not going to speak for others here, because today isn't about me telling you how to act. That's not what I'm here for. It's me sharing my story with you so that maybe you can relate and realize that you aren't that much different. You are capable of taking your life back. You are capable of not doing the drugs anymore and waking up and beating that fix. You can do it. It just is a lot of fucking work. It is not easy. You lose friends, you lose family, but you probably were already losing that by being the jackass that you were when you were fucked up. And I'm just going to be real with you here, okay? Um, Another thing that an addict said to me a couple months ago, and I might have said this in my last video, so I apologize, but I can't get over it, is the fact that they said that they feel ashamed for being an addict, and that fucking crushes me inside because I'm gonna look at all of you that are here right now. You shouldn't be ashamed of being an addict. Do you tell somebody who is born with ADHD that they should be ashamed for having it? Do you tell somebody who is born with dyslexia that they should just be ashamed and give up? A learning disability, a speech impediment? Do you think that those people should just quit living? No? Okay. So why should you as an addict? Why should your addiction and your disease be any different than any of the other ones I just listed? You are not alone. You are suffering from an illness. And the sooner that you can accept that within yourself and not beat yourself up and be so hard, things will get a little easier. Okay? And I hope that you can really hear that. You are a fucking warrior. You have made it to today through your addiction. Some of you might have just started as an adult. Some of you might have been struggling as a kid. Some of you might have been struggling before you even knew what an addiction was. And I'm here to tell you, good job for making it to today. Good job for putting your fucking pants on and doing what you have to do. Because giving up is an option, but you're choosing not to do it. So be proud of yourself. Okay? I want you to feel a sense of accomplishment for getting to wherever you are today. Maybe you're not where you want to be on your sobriety journey, but you can start changing that today. Okay? And I say this shit all of the time, but the first part of this is not acceptance and admitting that you're an addict. Fuck that, dude. The first step is sitting here realizing that you want a change for your life. That maybe you're not content with everything in your life. And maybe it's time to start doing the things in order to take back the life and to become the person that you want to be. Um, I think it's important to hear that because people aren't telling you that. They're just telling you, oh, you fucked up your sober day again. Oh, he relapsed and they want to talk shit. Fuck you guys, dude. Seriously. That is not how we do this as humans. We need to build each other up and help each other when we fall, okay? I'm about to celebrate 3 years no alcohol this month and 1 year Cali sober, okay? That's only weed. That's no drugs, no powders, none of my DOC, no nitrous, none of the party shit, nothing. I mean, I drink coffee as a fucking stimulant, but I am not living out my addiction, okay? And I'm telling you this because you know how many times I relapsed before that? You know how many times I failed and gave up on myself again until I found the courage to stand up for myself one more time against myself? Every day you wake up and you're fighting your own self, and nobody knows that. So fucking, I'm proud of you guys. And I want people to hear that because it's hard. And nobody's going to pat you on the back unless you seek out that affirmation um, that you're doing a good job because quite honestly, like addicts are pretty overlooked until you start fucking up other people's lives or you ask them for money or they think that they need to judge you for any reason, then yeah, they're gonna start shit talking you and your topic of conversation again. But the second you're just kind of like in limbo or maybe going quiet because you can't be around your friends, you're going to lose some friends and it's going to be tough. And I am here to tell you that there are plenty of people out there who are going to love you for your journey. Okay. So if your friends aren't accepting your journey, bye. That's how it goes. If they're real ones, they will take care of you. And I'm sorry that I'm not showing the Mr. Show Love, Spread Love side of me, but like this side also needs to come out because people need to understand that respect goes every way. And when we're out here just battling ourselves to live and fighting our own selves, like I can't give respect to somebody else that's gonna shit on me. Like, I'm sorry. And to people that challenge other people's sobriety, I cannot even begin to tell you how much that makes my blood boil. You are so low for that. It is so I'm gonna leave that alone. But I will say this too. Any of you guys who want to go ahead and challenge my sobriety, let's run it, big dog. You're gonna foot the bill on this drug test. I'll go get a blood test at the hospital. It's literally 2 minutes away from my house. So anytime you want to try to call that bullshit, let's do it, dude. I'm not here for that. I don't have time to entertain that behavior, and I want you guys to know that as well. I want the other addicts to start sticking up for themselves. Start putting yourself first. Do not let your addiction walk all over you, and do not let other people walk all over you. And don't feel like you owe anybody anything except for being who you are. And if they're your real friend, they will grow with you. I have maybe two people in my life that associate with me from high school, and that's okay because honestly, like, I wouldn't associate with that kid either. He was a fucking loser. And I'm talking about myself. I was a loser, okay? But I will also say this. I have so many of my friends that I used to use and drug with every day who are now sober with me. Okay? Let me rephrase that. The system and AA and NA tell you that you need to go out and change your entire life. No. You need to change your thought on addiction and not let it control your life. You can still go to the function. You can still go hang out with your friends and do the things that you used to do. I came home from fucking going sober at Electric Forest from alcohol and then went to my job at the brewery 2 days later and worked at the brewery and helped to write a liquor menu, okay? I'm sharing this with you to let you know that it can be done. And for me, I fucking couldn't do it the first 15 times I tried, but it worked the 16th. So keep trying. Keep trying. If your friends are trying to get sober, celebrate their sober days and also pick them up when they fall and help them get back on the high horse that they deserve to be on. Addicts do not deserve to be at the low of active addiction. They do not deserve this life. Okay? You do not deserve to feel miserable all of the time. You do not deserve to feel like you can't go out and enjoy something without being fucked up. And I will say this too. I still smoke pot before I leave the house every time. I'm still stuck in those addictions as well, sitting here talking to you about addiction. I am not perfect. I am never going to preach that I am perfect. I hid I hid addiction on my last relapse with powders, and I did some shit hiding it and lying about it that I fucking preach about not doing. And you know what? I had to swallow the pill that I did it too. And I had to ask for acceptance, and I had to ask for forgiveness, and I had to fucking bow my head and just plead that the people in my life who matter most to me wouldn't leave me because of this one mistake. And you know what the difference in thought there was? I never cared before. I never cared about looking my family and my friends in the eyes and saying this would be the last time and then it not being. But this time I cared. I cried. I felt like I let my family down and my friends. I felt like I let myself down. I failed. And I did fucking powders a gram a day for 30 more days after that because I couldn't accept it. And then I did. And I had to out myself and I had to take accountability, and it was not easy, and I didn't do it alone, and I'm not even sure that I would have taken accountability right then and there if I didn't have somebody there doing it with me. But that's what being there for your friends is for. That's what being there for somebody that's actively going through addiction is for. It's not a one-time fix. It's not just going to go away. I'm coming up on those years and I still think about the shit every fucking day. I still think about it. When I still get super stressed out with BBS, I still want to go get a drink. And it makes me cry because it fucking sucks. I don't want to feel that way, but I do. Okay? And I want you guys to know that, like, it's okay to feel these feelings. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay. You don't have to just give up after one bad day. You don't have to just give up after one failure. And if you're at the beginning of this, if you promised yourself last night that you weren't going to get high today and you are getting high today, it's okay. okay? Try again tomorrow. Maybe just don't get high the rest of the day. Maybe be done right now. Those failures are going to lead to success at some point, as long as you don't give up. And quite honestly, that happens with fucking anything. Like, you weren't good at sports the first time you picked it up. You weren't good at keyboard when they started teaching it to us in middle school. We didn't know how to use the fucking internet before people started teaching it to us, okay? So why do you literally think that this is any different? And on top of all of that, this isn't just about some learning. This is literally your brain chemistry going against you every day. Subconsciously, consciously, you don't ever escape it as an addict. Just the same way that somebody with chronic illness doesn't escape pain. It's the same. It's not any different. And so I want you to feel the strength that you deserve to feel, because you deserve to feel it. And you deserve to feel empowered. And life fucking sucks, dude. Like, it sucks. But getting high and fucking drunk and forgetting about it isn't going to make it any easier. And on top of that, I just thought about this when I was walking the dogs. Like, you drink and you black out and you forget, and you get this brief moment of where your problems don't really exist anymore, okay? And then you wake up, and not only are those problems still there, but you have to face the reality that last night you felt what it was like to not feel those problems. Why the fuck are we doing that to ourselves? You're not allowing yourself to feel and heal and get over these issues and these emotions because you just bury it down, and then the next day you act like you forgot about it, but it's still there and it still hurts, and it's still making you fucking lose your hair and adding stress weight and not giving you the right sleep, and your eating habits are fucked up and you're feeling depressed. It's all one big thing. And like, I still eat shitty junk food. I still freaking, like I said, I still smoke weed. And like, I drink pop sometimes. I have an energy drink addiction that I shouldn't be drinking all the time. But you know what I'm not doing? A gram of K, a gram of Coke, and a fifth a day. That's not what I'm doing. So I'm proud of this me today. And you know what? I'm going to look at this camera a year from now and I'm going to say I'm even more proud then than I am right now, because my growth trajectory for myself might not always be up, but it's gonna be consistent, okay? And my old hippie friend Bob told me something that sticks with me all the time, okay? You're always gonna have the highs. The highs are gonna be high, and the lows are gonna be low, but it's all about riding that middle. And it's true. And I'm not saying you shouldn't celebrate your successes and feel your failures, because that's a part of life. But what I am saying is that just take it as it comes, okay? Like, and I have to remind myself of this all of the time with a growing business that changes every single day. Every single day we're faced with a new problem, a new issue, a new growth, a new idea, and like, every day is different for me. And I couldn't handle this before, and then it turned into I couldn't handle this being who I was back then. I i will tell you some of the little things that made me really stop drinking. The first and foremost thing I truly believe is that when you find a purpose, if you find a fulfillment, if you find something outside of yourself that makes you happy, some people, it's a higher power, and good for you if that's what you need. For me, it was the BBS community. It was watching something that I had fucking yearned for so hard in my heart to become something that was so real. And I had the opportunity to fully give myself to something and watch it grow because of my work along with my business partner. And I noticed that I started feeling love in my heart. And I felt good about that. You know, I felt good about feeling again. And my source of sobriety is not from BBS. I want to make that very clear. It is not reliant on BBS. It is not reliant on BBS's success. But I found a reason to love life, which in turn gave me a reason to love myself. And then it gave me something to look forward to. And then I started to notice these little things about myself that I didn't like so much. One example was I was having to, I was working 40, 50 hours at the restaurant, and I was having to wake up every morning and go back and read the text messages and the messenger messages of communication that I had with bandits about issues, errors, address changes, just general conversations because my drunk ass had no idea what I had said the night before. I was forgetting to mail things. I was not changing addresses. Um, I was really misrepresenting myself in the business, and that was the last straw for me. I decided that I needed a change, and I tried for like 8 months, really, really hard to make that change happen. And I would do like 15 days, 30 days, um, and nothing was fucking getting better. Nothing was changing. And then we went to Electric Forest, and I'll be real with you. The alcohol was messing up my ketamine high, and I didn't like that. And the drug addict in me told me that I could quit alcohol in order to stay doing the thing that I truly, deep down, I think I love the most. And that was a fucking weird, tough realization. And so I stood up on Friday at Tripoli at Electric Forest on fucking base rush day. I had a fifth of vodka in my bottle, in my water bottles that I snuck into the venue, and I had like 5 half gallons back at camp for the weekend. And I looked it up at everybody, and I said in my group, and I said, I'm not drinking anymore, and I gave the bottle away, and they all just kind of like, yeah, whatever, we fucking heard this before. Cool, he's not drinking again. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't drink the rest of the weekend. But you know what I did do? Just completely turns to another addiction, and I didn't even see myself doing it. I didn't even realize that. And mind you, I've been going to meetings since I was 14. Um, I was a trouble kid, like I said. I had to do. I blew a 90 and 90 out the water. I did 180 and 90. And it never clicked, I never got any of the things that these people have been saying since I was 14. And so once again, I just blew right past it. That they straight up say, as soon as you quit your big DOC, you gotta watch for that next one that comes in. I just right out my ear. And then cue a 9 month ketamine addiction that was fucking disgusting. I had quit, and then I went back to it, and for whatever reason, I must have known subconsciously this was the last run because I went hard for 8 months. Um, and I'm disappointed in myself for it. I'm not proud of it. But it's something that I did, and it's something that I had to overcome. And you know what? I'm sitting here now because of how hard I went, because of how dumb I was, how reckless I was, about to celebrate my 1 year. And like my brain is going 15 different ways right now because I want to talk on so many points of that, but I'm going to talk on this one first, okay? Drugs are fucking bad. They are they're secretly fucking your head so bad that you don't know until it becomes a point that you do know. I pride myself on what I would call extremely strong-willed. I talked a little bit about my suicide in the past, and yeah, I've attempted to kill myself, and I will just put that out there blunt. I was young. I was 14. I turned 35 this year. It's 20 years ago. Okay, so it's not that anymore. I'm not suicidal, but I had fueled myself up so far in my brain to thinking so many delusional thoughts that I was my I was convinced that I almost wasn't alive. I guess let's just put it that way. And I separated myself from a group, and that's when things got really sour. And I think that it's important to say that if you're ever feeling any type of way in your head, talk to your fucking friends. Let them know right now I am on drugs, and I don't think that these thoughts are normal, okay? Because my thoughts were not normal. I am not suicidal, and I could see myself slitting my wrists, okay? I am not delusional, and I could see those things in my head. I am sound minded. I I do not have any kind of issues up there that would lead me to having those kind of delusions. It was the drugs, okay? If I am if I was not who I am, If I was not vocal with my friends right then and there, I might have literally gone back to my campsite and killed myself because I was convinced that I was keeping my friends in my own hell here. It's subconsciously in my thoughts. Like, I, it, I can't even say it out loud, right? Because it literally doesn't make sense. And I know the 22 of you that I have watched, I know one of you can relate to this. I know one of you have been too spun one time by yourself and thoughts have gone too far. Okay? That is just one of the many ways that these substances that we're putting into our bodies can kill us. Okay? One of the many. I watched something the other day, and I have been thinking about doing this since the last time I did this. But I didn't want. I'm not gonna burn this out. I don't want it to become, oh, Zach's fucking talking again. Like that's not what this is. I'm not preaching. I am sharing. This is what you do at a meeting, and honestly, meetings don't work for me. So if they don't work for you, it's okay. Once again, you are not alone. They are not for everybody. Everybody has their own support systems. Everybody needs to do this differently, and nobody's journey is the same. So don't be fucking judging people for their own journey, and don't think that yours is gonna look like the person next to you because it's just not. Okay? And that's okay. That is okay. And so I do these things and I call my sober friends once a week and we talk because those are my meetings. And if that's what you need, or you are looking for meetings and you're looking for places that would understand our culture, specifically the EDM culture, um, there are a couple of groups out there. The Unspunions is Tipper Fam, but they do a really, really, really wonderful job. And then the Yellowbirds, that's going to be the Pretty Light Sober group, run by just the most amazing peach of a human ever. Shout out to all of the liberators and or the illuminators, and shout out to everybody that helps keep the Yellowbirds culture strong. That is another thing that kind of changed my perspective on sobriety and social acceptance, especially in this scene. Um, and like, I think that something that I wore this shirt today as a reminder. So I came home from Electric Forest, or I came home from, sorry, not Electric Forest. I came home from a trip to Vegas for a friend's for a friend's wedding, and I ended up in the hospital in Vegas because of my drinking and my dehydration. I literally thought I was dying. I almost missed the flight. It was terrible. I got home and I promised everybody in my life that I was going to stop drinking. And I did for a little bit, and I did a really good job. Then it was my birthday, and I found a reason to drink. It was my birthday, and I had been doing so good, so why couldn't I have a drink that night? Well, I woke up at 4 a.m., covered in blood, in a parking lot, got help home that night, and I had to go to work the next morning. My face was split open, my mouth was split open, my backpack was missing, everything was covered in blood. I had no car keys, I had no cell phone, and I was fucking ashamed of myself. And that was, I believe that was one of the last times that I relapsed. And you know, fell into a window, and I promise I didn't punch the window this time. I fell through it, and I literally, I don't know if you'd really be able to see it, but I damn near slit my wrist. Unintentionally, obviously. And I could have died right there in that parking lot. Somebody could have found me when they got off of work, dead, in a pool of blood, just because I got drunk and left my friends on my birthday. And I mean, I'm not here to share war stories because that is the opposite of what we're here to do today. But I just don't want people to feel like you can't relate to me because you haven't seen me spun, dude. I'm sure a lot of these people here have seen me with my powdered rim nose and just looking like an idiot. And I am thankful for the people who are still here today that dealt with that person of me. And like I said it in the last one, but why don't you just take control of your actions now before you have to apologize? Damn, that's loud as fuck, dude. Before you have to apologize for your actions later. Why not just be proactive now instead of reactive to your problems later? Don't be the friend that loses all of his friends because you're not a good friend and everybody has to take care of you. And I just, like, I know how many people struggle with this because there's so many of you that reached out to me personally after the last one, and I talked to you guys in person, and it's okay to not be okay. It is. It's okay to be sad today. It's okay to relapse today as long as you are aware of what's going on and you take the proper actions to get back to where you need to be. I am not advocating for a relapse. Please do not take that the wrong way and try to come at me for what I just said. I'm just saying it's okay to not be perfect. Stop being so fucking hard on yourself. And I'm gonna finish. I might not finish, but I'm gonna go here. The reason that I finally got the call to action to do this and I pushed aside my anxieties about this is because I heard a fact the other day and it's fucked up that the number one cause of death for people under the age of 50 in America is fentanyl. Stop fucking doing that shit. You will not be able to go to that next festival when you are dead. You will not be able to fucking hang out with your friends or hug your family or watch your daughter graduate or watch your kids grow up or say goodbye to your parents when you are dead. Do you want your family to have to bury you first? I don't think the answer to that is yes, okay? And I'm sorry to be scare tacticy, but that's just the truth. We wake up, we get into the car and we put our seatbelts on, right? Okay? We have anxieties or irrational fears every day. People have this worry of dying in a plane crash or a shark attack, but you're fucking putting powders up your nose? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm sorry to be blunt, but be so for real, dude. Be so for real. You're not testing the powders that you bought from your friend who is selling you things that are killing you, physically killing you, whether it's slowly or quickly. Even if their shit's pure, you're still dying inside from it. So that friend of yours that comes through whenever you need them is coming through because you're giving them money. Let's be real here. Because if they were really your friend, they probably wouldn't be helping you put the shit in your body. And I am so guilty of this because I was the poster boy of saying, "Oh no, I'm not a dealer. I'll just help make sure that my friends are safe, so I know where." That is such a fucking lie that we look at ourselves to tell ourselves that what we're doing to our friends is okay. So if you're looking yourself in the mirror and you're saying that, I'm sorry, but you're lying to yourself. And if you really, really cared about them, you would tell them not to do it. And then, once you knew they were going to do it anyways, because we're not here to tell our friends exactly what to do and we're not going to control anybody else's actions outside of ourselves. But you could test it for them. You could teach yourself how to properly do a test, invest in an expensive one, and test it for them. If you really want your friends to continue to be doing that. I just think that a lot of us say that's their problem or that's on them or they're going to do what they want to do. Yeah, but did you fucking tell them how it makes you feel? Because if enough people in our lives that we value their opinion and respect who they are and they love tell us something, at some point it might stick. And obviously it doesn't work for everyone, but it does work for some people. And you could be the friend that makes the difference in that addict's life to change their own. Okay? And that's what we don't. I mean, you do owe it to your friends. Fuck, you picked them to be there in your life. You picked them to hold a significant role in your life. Why are you letting them just kill themselves? And this goes out to my friends. Why are you guys doing it? But quite honestly, I challenge my friends' thoughts like that. I talk to my friends in person. when I see them over consuming. I ask them if I think they really want to do that bump right now. And before, I was the bad person and I was just busting out the bag and doing that for them. So I'm not here to say that I am the good person, okay? Um, oh, it is believable. That's unfortunate, Jessica. And I was not the best influence, but I am trying to be one now. And that statement can go the exact same for you. I was not the best person, but I'm trying to be better now. I was not always so sober, but I'm trying to be more sober now. And I think that once you start to see more and more of those changes and improvements in your life, you're going to just, it's a new high. You're going to chase it. You like getting stoned. You like fucking chasing a high. Well, wait until you feel the high of changing your life for the better. Woo! Wait till you see that number of sobriety break 100 days. That's insane. Wait until the first person gets jealous over your sobriety and tries to fucking belittle you because of it. Now you've actually literally made other people feel a certain type of way just because you're over here living your own best life. All of that shit is so empowering. On top of the fact that you remember what you did the night before, you don't have to wake up and apologize for your actions. You don't have to wake up and look for your stuff or wonder where your money went or pay a fucking $200 bar tab. I can't tell you how nice it is to have things that I want to buy for myself. I looked at my app and I've saved, let's see here. I have, why is it asking me for my birthday? 1 second. I have 1,077 days sober from alcohol, 11 hours, 42 minutes, and 22 seconds. But the real cool part is I've saved $32,280. And that's just off of the one app. And then you can add in the sobriety from everything else, and that's going to add another fucking 50, 100K right there. And then we'll go to the quit tracker for cigarettes, and there's another 5 grand, okay, from nicotine. So, I mean, there's the facts. I don't even need you don't even need to trust what I'm saying. There's the answers. It's there. $33,000 in 3 years. You're telling me I saved somebody's fucking part-time salary just by not killing myself slowly and acting like a degenerate? Shit. Why did it take me so long to get there? Why did it take me rehabs and incarceration and failed friendships and literally breaking my mother and father's heart all of the time? I left a shitty legacy for my little brother who had to live through it in my hometown. I was labeled a fucking shitty human at 14 and all to chase depression? Like, what? I don't know, man. I don't know. I needed to talk about this. I'm coming up on 40 minutes, so I'm going to be done soon. Um, I don't have a lot of regrets in life, and I was actually talking to one of my friends' teen sons about this the other day. He posted about one of my joints that I had in my story, and he's too young to be thinking joints are cool. And he posted about it and said, "Well, that's pretty." And he played it off like he was just talking about my papers, but we both know what he was talking about. And I'm telling you this because me and him had a conversation after. And I wasn't about to sit there and just be that next adult that was telling him drugs are bad, don't do that, you're going to ruin your life. Like, I'm not, that shit didn't fucking work for me. Dare did nothing except for dare me to do drugs. Everybody that told me no made me go further into doing drugs. So, and that's not on them. They were just trying to protect me and to save me, and that's fine. But it just didn't work for me. And so I know it doesn't work for other people too. And so I told him this. I said, my only regret about drugs and everything in high school was this. I shouldn't have done all of the hard stuff. I wish I never got into it, but that got me here today, okay? But my real one was with weed. And I notice how heavily I'm addicted to weed. I'm not physically addicted to weed. I did 60 days without it last year. I can fucking survive. It's fine. But it's not that. It's the action of smoking weed, and it's the whole process of doing something routinely that I'm used to. And I don't get high. Like, if you're a real pothead, do you really get high often? I can eat 1,000 milligrams of edibles and like I don't get high. And that fucking sucks, dude. As a pothead, I am sitting here telling you that like when you watch the movies and you see like the 60-year-old fucking grandparents eat the edible or something, like I'm never gonna experience that. And I love marijuana for so many other reasons other than just that. And like it's just it's unfortunate that I took away some of the enjoyable aspects because I'm just a fucking addict and I can't stop. I can't just wake up and hit the bowl once and be done for the day. Like I'm not built like that. I cannot just have one, but I can stop. And I'm thankful for that because I know that some people don't have that willpower. Um, and it's just like I'm saying all of this because these are all things that are self realizations that I had like as I started to get sober. Some thoughts that I had where with my alcohol specifically was like, well, you can only drink when it's a special occasion. And so that turned into like a birthday. But then birthdays turned into like a random day off or getting called off of work or a new movie coming out or it being 80 degrees outside or a new restaurant opening. And then it turned into, well, it's not a special occasion, it's only on the weekends. And then the weekends became, well, it's my weekend and my day off. And then next thing you know, I'm just fucking drinking all of the time. And like when I say all of the time, I woke up with White Claws in the shower. I had shooters all day, a pint to a fifth a day. And then I went to like actually when I got off of work, I could really drink because then I didn't have to talk to people or serve tables. And then I'm putting back whiskey and old fashions. And so like I'm just a fucking degenerate of an alcoholic, plain and simple. And I know that about myself now. And it took a really long time to get here. So it's taken me a really long time to say this message as well. But if you felt any of this, if you felt an inkling to change your thought, just let that thought live in your brain. You do not have to quit today, but that thought will change. The thought will turn into something else. The next time that you actually do embarrass yourself, that thought is going to pop into your brain and it's going to say, well, maybe we really should just quit. Maybe it is time to be done. Maybe I don't need that next bump. And next thing you know, you're the DD getting your fucking sober friends home when you were the drunk that they used to have to watch. You're the accountable one instead of the freaking irrational one. Kyle, it is a journey and it's a bumpy ass fucking road and it's going to be bumpy for the rest of our lives. Everybody is bumpy. So don't think just because your low got real low and that rock bottom is that rock bottom. Like, I'll tell you something too about rock bottoms, dude. There's always a fucking trap door if you allow yourself to chase it. If you say this is my rock bottom and you go back to it, oh, you gonna find a new rock bottom. I promise you. And it ain't gonna be any harder than the last one or easier than the last one. It's gonna be harder. And that's something else that I just refused to listen to. And like, I wouldn't have even changed my like bad behaviors as a kid if I didn't go to Electric Forest the first time. I went to Electric Forest and I experienced a different kind of love. I grew up with love. I grew up with a nice household. I grew up in a good neighborhood and in a good community. I was not. I didn't have a bad life growing up. I was just a rebellious bad kid, and I didn't have excuses to act like a piece of shit. I just was one. Um, and that was a tough pill to swallow, you know? That was a really tough pill to swallow. And I didn't swallow it until I went and saw what true love and respect and unity look like. I got real hugs. I had genuine conversations with strangers. People were coming up and like They wanted to know about you because they were interested in you and they gave me their time and respect. And there was just gifts and smiles and new connections, and I felt like the world had been I hadn't even seen real life. um, and I feel bad for the people who don't experience that. Join BBS, dude. We'll show you what real love is all about. It's just we're we're missing so much in life. I know I'm missing so much in life. My big one is travel and culture. We're getting there. It just takes so much money nowadays to be able to do it, but there's so much shit to experience. If you've never gone to a music festival, go to a fucking music festival. If you've never gone to a yoga class, go to a yoga class, dude. If you've never ran, take your ass running. If you can't swim, bro, teach yourself to swim, dude. Come on. Enjoy this life that we have. It's so complexly simple. We're pulled in 10,000 directions every day to chase money that doesn't bring us happiness, to chase a life that we never hit. And I am more guilty of this than most people I know. I am constantly chasing what's next. I feel like in my position with BBS, I don't get the privilege of just taking solace in today. It is always what's next. And you need to take time to appreciate the little things in life. Celebrate your small successes. That's why I'm saying pat your back for being here today. I have lost so many friends to suicide and to addiction. And you know what they would want from me today? They would want me to be living my best life today for them because they want to see me happy. Okay? Do that for your family. Do that for the people that we've lost. Be happy today. Be thankful for something today. Find a reason to be happy today and find a reason to be nice to the person, a stranger today. Because you don't fucking know what they're going through, dude. You don't know how many lives you changed just each day with a smile or a nice comment or just being there for somebody who's getting fucking bullied, dude. We're getting strong armed and pushed around by the internet and assholes on the internet every single day. You don't know how much it means to know that one person is in your corner supporting you. Be that person for somebody or for yourself. Stand up for yourself. Advocate for yourself. If your job is not treating you right, fucking tell them. They do not own you. If your friends are taking advantage of you, tell them. Set boundaries. If you're not getting enough personal time in your own life, make it. Put your fucking phone down and make it. Okay? I just don't let this world drag you thin and don't let it drain your battery completely. And I am so guilty of this. So I'm not sitting here acting like I don't do this because I do it too much. Um, I just want I want you to hear it from somebody else's brain than your own that your feelings are valid, your struggles are real, your emotions are important, and you do fucking matter. So be there for yourself today. I'm out, dude. I'm out. I love you guys. I'll do this again eventually. Peace.